Imagine a single drop of water, seemingly crystal clear to the naked eye, yet teeming with a hidden, invisible army of deadly pathogens, microscopic parasites, and aggressive viruses capable of bringing the world's greatest empires to their knees within days. Now, imagine a technology so elegant in its simplicity, so passive in its operation, and so incredibly enduring that it requires no electricity, no complex mechanical filters, and no toxic chemical additives to turn that dangerous liquid into a life-giving purified nectar. This is the profound story of the Ionic Shield, a masterclass in biological security developed independently thousands of years ago by the advanced Vedic civilization of ancient India and the visionary engineers of the Roman Empire. Long before the formal discovery of germ theory or the invention of the first microscope, our ancestors observed a recurring biological miracle. Those who stored their water in vessels crafted from pure copper and silver remained vibrant, healthy, and strong, while those who relied on common clay, wood, or porous stone often fell victim to the silent water-borne killers. We begin our journey with a macro-cinematic shot of a single drop of dirty, parasite-filled water falling in extreme slow motion onto a polished, glowing copper plate. As the liquid touches the metallic surface, a microscopic war erupts instantly, a wave of bright blue energy, representing the sudden and violent release of copper ions, surges through the water, as shown in the microscopic view, where this energy shreds the cell walls of bacteria. In a dramatic split screen, we see the stagnant green water of a common clay pot contrasted with the shimmering crystal-clear purity of a silver chalice, while a Roman soldier's hand grips a silver flask that glows with a faint, protective aura against a dark, diseased background, visualizing silver ions piercing the DNA of a virus until it shatters like glass. The panoramic sunrise over the Indus River in 1500 BCE reveals the dawn of this ancient wisdom. Golden light reflects off thousands of copper vessels, known as Tamra, lined up along the riverbanks as part of a daily ritual of health. Vedic healers, possessing an intuitive and deep-seated grasp of chemistry, inscribed the benefits of Tamra Jal on sacred palm leaf manuscripts, teaching that water stored in copper is not just clean, but vitalized with life force. We see the intense labor of the coppersmith, hammering red-hot sheets of copper into perfect, seamless urns, creating a vessel that acts as a continuous 24-hour purification chamber. As a mother in a Vedic household pours water from a bright copper pot for her child, the 3D X-ray view reveals the water molecules themselves aligning and being purified by the constant, relentless stream of copper ions. This practice was far more than mere ritual. It was a sophisticated public health strategy embedded into the culture. Even as the metal develops a natural dark patina over decades of use, its biocidal power remains completely undiminished. By dropping a handful of tulsi leaves into the copper vessel, the Vedic people created a synergistic biofilter that enhanced the water's medicinal properties. This wisdom transitions seamlessly across continents into the heart of the Roman Empire, where the silver standard became the ultimate defense for the legions on the move. In the meticulously organized Roman military camps, silver-lined canteens were a soldier's most prized possession, ensuring safe hydration during long, exhausting marches across scorching deserts and infectious swamps. Roman engineers, the master builders of the ancient world, were seen inspecting massive lead pipe junctions that had been strategically lined with copper to prevent the spread of miasma, or waterborne illness. We see a wealthy Roman senator drinking aged wine from a heavy silver goblet, a choice that was as much about biological safety as it was about social status. The simple silver coin dropped into a large public fountain was not a superstitious gesture of luck, but a deliberate, calculated act of mass sterilization for the benefit of all citizens. A Roman doctor, or medicus, is shown explaining to his young apprentice in a sunlit atrium that silver possesses the unique power to keep water sweet and untainted for months at a time. Modern 3D simulations of the magnificent Roman aqueducts reveal copper sediment filters placed at the city's entrance, acting as a final heroic barrier against contamination. The contrast between classes is stark. The dirty wooden buckets of the urban slums breed decay and death, while the polished silver pitchers of the elite villas preserve life and vitality. The chemistry is undeniable. Silver ions do not just kill, they smother the life out of pathogens. By disrupting the respiratory enzymes of bacteria, silver causes a total cellular suffocation, ensuring that deadly pathogens can neither breathe, nor process energy, nor reproduce. This ancient contact-killing mechanism is effectively a biological electric chair for pathogens. While bacteria can survive on modern surfaces like plastic or wood for several days, they are neutralized on a copper surface in a matter of mere minutes. The electrostatic attraction between the positively charged metal ions and the negatively charged membranes of bacteria is a fundamental law of physics that never fails and never requires recharging. This is the hidden reason why a Vedic family could survive a local plague that decimated their neighbors. The copper flasks they carried were an invisible, portable shield. As we move into the modern era, the escalating crisis of water pollution and the devastation of seasonal flooding brings this ancient metallic technology back to the very forefront of survival science. In disaster zones where power grids have failed and modern mechanical filters are clogged with toxic mud, the 10-cent solution of the ancients becomes a literal lifesaver. We see modern scientists in field labs teaching villagers how to use simple, sterilized copper scraps to clean their domestic water jars, providing a sustainable, zero-waste alternative to expensive and volatile chlorine tablets. One single copper plate can last for more than a decade, providing continuous 24-hour protection for a tiny fraction of the cost of modern industrial imports. The manufacturing and artistry of these vessels remain a bridge between the ancient forge and the modern laboratory. Molten silver being poured into intricate molds and the rhythmic, musical hammering of the coppersmith are scenes of a technology being born from the heart of fire. The chemical reaction of simple lemon juice cleaning a tarnished pot reveals the bright, red-gold surface underneath, ready once again to release its invisible ionic army. We compare the clean, sterile copper vessels of ancient India with the dark, unsanitary wooden barrels used in medieval Europe, illustrating how the loss of this metallic knowledge directly led to the unspeakable horrors of the Black Death. The king's privilege, the historical fact that royalty often survived major outbreaks by using silver dinnerware, was not a coincidence of divine fate, but a direct result of the ionic chemistry of the silver standard. In the deep Ayurvedic tradition, water sitting in a copper pot overnight becomes structured and alkalized, effectively balancing the body's internal pH and harmonizing the three fundamental doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Looking toward the future with a renewed vision, we envision a world where our very infrastructure is built upon these ancient golden principles. Imagine modern cities where the vast network of water pipes is lined with copper, or hospital rooms where every single contact surface is made of a self-sanitizing silver alloy. A scientist in a high-tech lab today compares an ancient Roman silver coin with a modern silver nanoparticle, proving that while the scale has changed, the fundamental power of the element remains exactly the same. The invisible guardian is a digital aura around our public health, a return to a world where water is naturally sterile from the source to the tap without the need for harsh chemicals. We see a person in a flood-affected village holding a simple copper plate like a treasure, realizing that the most advanced technology is sometimes the oldest one we ever possessed. As the sun sets majestically behind a mountain, reflecting in a crystal-clear Roman reservoir, we see the red of copper and the white of silver merging into a singular, invincible shield of health. A modern child and an ancient Vedic child are shown drinking from the same type of copper cup, connected across 4,000 years by the same rhythmic ionic pulse. The total, unyielding commitment of the Veda and Rome to these metals was not merely a matter of aesthetic wealth, but a raw survival instinct honed over centuries of trial and error. Every single hammer blow on a copper sheet was, in reality, a blow against the forces of infection and decay. Every silver-lined aqueduct was a vital artery of life for a growing metropolis. We must come to understand that the oligodynamic effect is not a temporary chemical reaction that wears out. It is a permanent physical property of the chemical elements themselves. As long as the metal exists, the protection remains active. In the final cinematic sweep of our documentary, we observe the ripple effect of a single drop of water hitting a resonant silver bowl, creating a perfect crown shape, a symbol of the ultimate sovereignty of health over disease. The texture of the copper surface, when viewed through a powerful microscope, looks like a vast protective landscape where no microscopic enemy can find a place to hide. A person in a disaster zone drinks clear water with no chemical chlorine smell, thanks to a simple copper-treated tank. This is the zero chemical promise of our ancestors. This is the eternal legacy of the metals that never die and the ions that never sleep. Architecture is the medicine, and the metal is the cure. From the deafening roar of a waterfall to the quiet clinical hum of a high-tech laboratory, the message across history is clear. Ionize the world, protect the breath. For in the very heart of the metal, we find the rhythmic heartbeat of a civilization that refused to stay still and refused to be defeated by the invisible world. The shield of purity stands eternal, waiting for us to pick it up once more to protect the generations of the future. By embracing the metals of the past, we forge the security of tomorrow. The ionic pulse is the heartbeat of humanity, a silent guard that has stood watch since the beginning of time, ensuring that every drop of water is a drop of life, and every breath taken is a breath of purity.
Thank you for watching. This immersive experience was brought to you by the power of AI storytelling. We use artificial intelligence to reimagine the past and entertain the curious minds of the present. The quest continues.